Okay, so welcome back. I just finished the albums that I got from this one store, and I'm getting on to the last one, but there's a pretty large selection of albums here, so I figured I'd break it down into two parts so that it's not, you know, just a long drawn out snooze fest. And okay, so all these are picked up from a place called $2 Thrill that was just like two doors out from the location um, in uh, Ocean Beach. And again, I'll have you know information for these guys in the description when I can find the addresses and business cards. Now, these two places were not on the Vinyl District app, so you use that to search for them, you won't find them, but I will get the information for you. Now, all these picked up for $2. The deal is that you buy 5 items, you get a 6 item for free. But before I do that, I'll pick up. Now, I know that uh, there's a offshoot of the vinyl community to show cassettes. Now, I did have a cassette video shot of the stuff that I got. I don't believe I ever uploaded it, and probably not going to, because the deal with me and cassettes, I'll just explain to give some background, is that I didn't have a whole lot of cassettes growing up. Not that they were before my time, because I did have cassettes. It's just that you know obviously by the time I got into collecting music, they were long gone. But I did have my cassettes growing up as a kid that you play in the car, to keep from boredom. But there was one, and I'm still trying to find it. There was one Van Morrison album that my dad had on cassette that I basically just ripped from him when I was like 9, 10 years old, and I played that thing out on my Walkman, which I still have, but I don't remember what the name of that album was. So I've gotta find that, because it's like that great music on that. But anyway, for the most part, I did a lot of home recording. Like, I'd record off the radio, that type of stuff. When it came, and I did a lot of Saturday morning children's shows and everything. A lot of the case, or I'd copy albums I had on CD onto cassette. That's most of what I did for. That's mostly use of my cassettes, and I have a lot of my dad's old sermon tapes. Those are probably when I find those, I'll probably do a video of those. Maybe not. But I came in the $2 Thrill store. I came across cassettes, and I mean for $2 each. One of these I already had on CD. Another one was an album that I was looking for on any format and hadn't found it. Found it by chance. It's like, I'm gonna grab it. But anyway, let's get started. This is Skid Row, B-Side Ourselves. Not one of my favorites bands, obviously. I do have their first album on CD, but recognize the band, figured why not $2, let's pick it up. This is Godsmack Faceless. I have this on CD, but it had kind of gotten thrashed over the years by accident, because I played it a lot, and that was before I had an iPod or any form of MP3, so I'm using the CD and a portable CD player, and in the traveling it got thrashed. But the other part of it, and Mr. Hall of Fame can probably shed some light onto this. Is it's like, whoops, there we go, dropping it. But yeah, it was kind of surprising to see that to find this on cassette. So it's like, recognized it, so it's like, I'm going to grab it because it's like, I was a little bit surprised by it, because obviously this is, this album release, if you know the album, it's long after cassettes were antiquated. Love by The Cult, and great band, great album, obviously. And again, another band that you hear constantly on the music stations on DirecTV. Wanted to get this anyway, but it's like just hearing their stuff. Again, constantly, it's like, yeah, I had them on the brain, saw it, it's mine. And again, interesting thing, again, heard these guys for the first time in a video game, and this was years before the Rock Band and whatever other. Yeah, it's Rock Band, and there's one other series, video game series. Forget it off the top of my head, because my attitude on it was pick up a real guitar. But anyway, yeah, I heard these guys for the first. I heard She Sells Sanctuary in Gran Turismo 3. It's a car racing game, and it's like, yeah. So I had these guys on the brain for probably at least 10 years or so. Knew about them. And then this last cassette is absolutely hysterical. I mean, I had to chuckle right there in the store. Because it was hilarious. The soundtrack for Too Fast, Too Furious. Again, the soundtrack for Too Fast, Too Furious on cassette. It's like they had another copy. Probably should have picked it up, but stuck with one, and it's like, it struck me as really odd. It probably isn't, but again, movie, which isn't one of my favorites, but I like it more than most in the series. Since I was in that target audience for that series when the early movies came out, and I saw them. It's like, I have to, because it's such a, whether it is or not for the rest of you, it struck it as an oddball on the format. So it's like I had to. So yeah, grab that. Now for enough of that. Now on to the vinyl. And again, sticking with the oddball theme, and let me peel everything down. Oh, there is another CD. No Quarter, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant. And yeah, I'm kind of like everything's thrown in together, and did a lot of traveling, so it's like, yeah. Anyway, Ja Rule, Last Temptation. Again, oddball pick for me, I know, because I do have a small collection of hip hop rap, but I figured there's something I could do something with this, because it's $2 a piece, or you could say I got it for free, depending on the argument, but it's still sealed. And so if if I didn't want to keep it, because I'm probably not going to play it. But at least until I do some research and probably hear some tracks on YouTube or whatever, do more research on it. But I figured, um, you know, that I could do something with it. I mean, it's a sealed album for $2. So, I figured I could do something with it if I didn't decide to keep it or whatever. Okay, and this will show, the oddball side of everything to continue. I mean, we're continuing with an oddball theme here. And again, I found these, again, had to chuckle to myself. And it's like, again, I have to pick these up just because. Some of you may know who this person is, some may not, because it'll be out of the genre that we talk about. And so, if after I show these, you're sitting scratching your head thinking, what the fuck is up with this? Which, it just, I apologies in advance, but it had to pick these up because, again, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I couldn't leave them, especially for the price. But Amy Grant, the collection, she's a Christian, for lack of a better term, artist, and although there's been a lot of debate with that, and even though initially, since back when a lot of these type of artists were doing this, there was no quote unquote Christian label to a large extent, until much later. There'd be debate, but yeah, and there was actually a ludicrous accusation by this one religious group that I came across saying that she had performed with Cannibal Corpse, and it's like, no, I don't think so. I know Cannibal Corpse. They ain't. No. But yeah, she's a good singer, and had a lot of run up in the. You all know my background with religion and everything, and how that all shakes. But the thing is, a lot of her songs I've grown up with, I've sang, and so I knew her music I was familiar with, and it's a great voice, and so I couldn't leave it. Here's another Amy Grant, Unguarded, and won't spend any more time on her. Promise that's the last of that's the last of that weirdness. Okay, pick this one up because the cover caught my eye. And gonna put this on. Red Rider, Don't Fight It. And saw the cover, and it's like, it's pretty interesting. So went and grabbed it. Or it's like, well, I had it in my hand, and it's like, I'm moving you to this deck over here. That's how it went. Jethro Tull, Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die. Awesome band. Nothing needs to be said about. This is like probably my second or third. No, I think it's third album by them, and of course the one, you know, was the the situation with some little award show, 20 plus years ago, but we won't get into that. But yeah, um, I mean, and again, since there's probably not a lot of people unfamiliar with what we do here, you're not going to find this on a CD or a digital download. I mean, look at that, with the artwork on the gainful. You don't find that anymore, especially with digital downloading. Here's one I picked up, mainly just to piss my dad off. This is not one of his favorite bands, but thought the cover was interesting, and it's a textured cover, and it was pretty cool. BTO, not fragile, and again, opinions to yourselves, pretty much. But yeah, but thought it was an interesting cover. And it's a textured cover, and all the gears and everything, sprockets, so yeah, thought it was cover was pretty cool. Warner Brothers presents Montrose. And another cool, interesting cover. But again, probably be viewed as sexist, misogynist, and all kinds of bad things. But never mind. Okay. Can't remember if I've already got a. I know I have the jacket at least. I probably don't have the. This may be the first copy, maybe not, but I know I have seen this jacket, but the jacket didn't have that album in it. This is Moody Blues, Southern Sojourn. Love Moody Blues. Yeah, I can't talk right now. Mother's Finest, Iron Ace. Need to do more research, but interesting cover for one. So interesting covers get put in my collection, and then we sort stuff out later. Moody Blues, Question of Balance. Another edition. Almost Brother, Don McLean. Do They Know It's Christmas? Getting a little bit. Another one of my dad's, but it's an addition to my Christmas album collection. Yes, I do have one that included, and again, by accident, but again, to piss off my dad, but will never play, Alvin and the Chipmunk does Christmas music. Nothing needs to be said, because that will drive you fucking nuts. But luckily for him, and for probably myself, they're too damaged to be able to play. Mahogany Rush. And I have quite a bit of this next artist, but again, kind of in poorer to unplayable shape. Um, this is Joni Mitchell, and again, nothing need be said. Uh, Joni Mitchell's awesome. So she's in. This is another. I have another modern compilation similar to this. It's called Headache 2. Um, Probably not going to be able to find much about it, but gonna try, and I'm gonna spin it and see what this is about. But interesting cover, say the least. Neil Diamond, Hot August Night, Quarter to Greek. Hold on just a second. I'll have to come back for a third part. Sorry.